So we are talking to Dawson Puk, linebacker, Okanagan Sun, and Kelon Thomas, defensive end for the Okanagan Sun. How are you guys doing?
Thank you. I'm great. How are you?
Excited.
Yeah, I think we got a bit of a delay here. So when I ask you a question, if there's a pause, we'll understand why. So you're out in Windsor. Let's just talk about your road trip getting there from Kelowna to Windsor. What was that like?
Honestly, long. We're patient for our flights, for the bus rides. So we're just staying dialed in, but we do understand there's gonna be a lot of traffic, especially in Ontario on the 401. So we're just trying to stay dialed in. It's just taking a long time, but you know we're here now. We're here gonna execute.
Yeah, definitely a new experience for a lot of the guys on our team, but definitely bringing us closer together, learning a lot more about each other, and honestly, day by day, we're more and more excited for the game.
So Kelon, you mentioned the 401. You guys are reason we're talking to you, besides the fact that you're key players on the defensive side of the ball for the Sun. You're actually returning home. You're Ontario guys. So let's just tell people watching this where you're from and how many years you've been with the club.
I'm from Scarborough, the east side of Toronto in the borough. I was born and raised. I went to John Vanier Catholic School from 9 through 12. And I played, my high school didn't have football, but I played with the outside of football league called Scarborough Thunder / Toronto Thunder. And then that's pretty much like my grassroots where I've been playing. And that's where I learned everything I am today.
And then I'm a small town Ontario kid. I'm from Millbrook, Ontario. Not many people probably heard of that, but I moved on to play my high school ball with the Crestwood Mustangs, pretty well-known high school in Peterborough, Ontario. And I ended up with the Sun about 2 years out of high school in 2019. And really, I ended up here through injury process. It's a cool situation for everybody. Everybody's here for different reasons and from different places. Mine happened to be injuries had me miss out on a couple other opportunities post high school, and then the Sun was right there to kind of pick me up when I was down, and it's been an awesome ride ever since.
So you mentioned why you're not necessarily at university, but why, if you're playing junior football, why way out in BC versus when there's programs right in your backyard, for lack of a better word?
I think when you break it down, it's just you go through conversations with different programs and different teams and stuff, and you can just kind of tell when a program really cares about its players, really cares about its own program itself and what they do in the community. And I think right from the first contact I had with the Sun, it was just I didn't really even think of other options at that point. They happened to reach out first in the CJFL, and I just never saw any reason not to come here, honestly.
What about you, Kelon?
For myself, I was recruited last season in 2021 and no COVID year. So it was kind of hard for me to get in contact with schools, even though like I saw my natural talents, but like I just had no connection. I lost that connection because of COVID, but I got recruited from a coach. He contacted me, he spoke with my mom, and I spoke to other teams in the CJFL, but I felt like Okanagan was a best fit for me, and 100% it is now. I cannot regret anything about anything, and had a great time last year, great time this season, and we're here to try to go all the way.
So yeah, you mentioned, Kelon, you didn't lose the COVID year. Dawson, I think you lost a year, didn't you then, Dawson? Because you were with the Sun and then COVID hit.
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, my big thing in my career has been fighting off injuries and stuff. So the COVID year, I did lose a year of eligibility, but it helped me in the sense of giving me that extra year to recover from another knee surgery. So I kind of looked at it as a little bit of an opportunity. As much as losing a year of eligibility sucks, it kind of gave me that year to kind of catch up on where I was behind. So a bit of a bittersweet blessing for me in that sense.
So did you go back home in that year, or did you stay in Kelowna?
Actually, that year I ended up going out to Alberta and I worked in the oil field because going into surgery, you're kind of down and out for a while. So I had to go save up some money there and then live off that for the year that I was trying to play catch up. So that was kind of the opportunity side of it.
So you already told me where you're from. If you already told me this, I apologize for asking the same question, but how far from Windsor were you right now? And I'm just thinking in terms of family, they don't get to normally see you play. I assume none of your family's flown out to BC to watch you. So this is the first time in a while you got friends and family in the stands. How far away from Windsor are they coming?
For myself, I would say I'm 3 hours and a half, depending on traffic. But honestly, 3 hours minimum for sure. So it's gonna be great for seeing my family and friends, coaches to be coming out, watch me play for the first time, especially now because I feel like I developed more. So it'll be great for them to be in the stands and them cheering me on.
Absolutely. And for myself, I'm about an hour and a half outside of where he's from. So I'm about 4 to 5 hours, depending on traffic, from Windsor here. And fortunately enough, I actually got the opportunity to fly my mom out to watch us play in BC this year. So that was her first time seeing me play in 5 years already this year. So I've kind of got the monkey off my back in that sense. I'm not too nervous about her coming to see me play again. But I believe the plan is for her to make it out here as well, and that's really the only person I need in the stands. So
Windsor's close, relatively close to home. Do you know anybody playing for? I was going to call them a Windsor fratman. I haven't. Know anybody playing for St. Clair?
So personally, I don't. I have friends in a local area, but I don't know anyone personally on the team.
yeah, and honestly, same for me. I think from disconnecting from Ontario for so long, a lot of people come and go in both areas, right? So they have a lot of people from out of town themselves here, and I can't say I have any personal connection with anybody on that team.
What do you know about? You've been watching a lot of film, or as much film as you can from an opponent across the country. What have you seen of St. Clair on film? What do you got to watch for?
I've seen a championship team, that's for sure. A team that wants to win a championship, a team that's going to stand strong in our way. You can tell they run a system, they're coached well, all those things. And really, when we're watching film, we're not really evaluating them personally. We're just looking for weaknesses, strengths, what we can attack, how we can be better. But they're definitely a championship caliber team that's standing strong in our way.
For sure. They're number one for a reason, so we have to treat them like they're number one as well, entering their conference.
You played arguably, at least on the defensive side of the ball, if not offensively, but for you guys defensively, against West Shore, you really played lights out. Is it fair to say you guys are playing your best football this season right now?
I think it's fair to say that we're playing better and better every week. There's new mistakes every week. There's new hurdles, whether it's problems created inner by ourselves or that problems that other teams give us. But one thing about our team I can honestly say is we definitely are progressing every single week. So I think you can expect our best football tomorrow for sure.
Yeah, for sure. We're just honestly locked in. We all want to work together as one so we can get the job done, right? So we all communicate with each other, especially on the defensive side, understanding our assignments, understanding we can help other people by doing our jobs as well. So we're just all working as one. So we're trying to get the job done.
Just want to talk about the concept of moving halfway across the country to play in another province. What's that commitment been like? What kind of challenges living so far away from home? I don't know if you guys were billeted. Let's just talk about your situations in Kelowna and what it was like.
Yeah, for sure. So for me, my first year, I went the billet route, and that was an awesome experience. I had never done that before. Amazing family. Honestly, everybody involved with the Sun, whether it's a player, coach, board member, or someone in a billet situation, has been a super great person in my eyes. So that billet experience first year was awesome for me. And then just as you grow older and stuff, I came in at 19, right? So the next year I came back, I was 20. And like I talked about earlier, I had those injuries to deal with. So I kind of veered away from that as I moved on and got my own place with some teammates and kind of just moved on from that, and you start living on your own. But if I had to suggest anything to anyone going there, I would suggest billeting your first year for sure.
I 100% agree. Last year was my first ever time traveling within Canada. I've never been anywhere else, only been Ontario. And when I first flew into Kelowna, I was just like, where am I? Like, I'm not home, not in familiar area. Have to be new friends, new people. But honestly, like when I first met the team, like they welcomed me, especially on the defensive side. And then we're just like a brotherhood, like a new one. You never know who you're gonna meet across the table sometimes. So I'm happy I came out here.
I know, Kelon, you're in your last. This is it for you with junior football. Dawson, is this your last year as well?
Same boat for me. Yep.
Yeah, same boat for both of us.
As you get so close, one game for sure left, hopefully two. What do you think about? Are you thinking about, geez, junior football's on the end of it's on the horizon, or you not thinking that far ahead yet?
I mean, in all reality, it's hard to deny those thoughts that they don't happen. Obviously, those things are in your brain and stuff, but I think the closer and closer we get to game day, it's just another game for us. You know what I mean? Game plan for it, watch our film, eat healthy and hydrate through the week, and make sure our bodies and minds are in the right place. And at the end of the day, we're just treating it like another game. But sitting talking to you personally one-on-one, I definitely couldn't deny that you're not thinking about, oh, this is could be my last game, last couple weeks, regardless. Those thoughts are definitely there. You just kind of use them as fuel instead of roadblocks, and then move on and play another game of football.
Yeah, 100%. Like for a little bit, it was kind of on my head. My last time playing the Apple Bowl against West Shore. Great memory though, of course, but of course it's gonna stick in your mind forever. Nothing lasts forever. You got to make the best out of it. So I'm happy that we're still continuing forward by dialing into the game, so we can make a new week happen by winning a game.
Last year, you guys, the Sun came so close. You played a really good Rams team, and you a defensive battle there. Did you look last year about how the fact that you were right there with the Rams and the fact that they won the national championship after that game? What were you thinking about? Were you looking ahead to this year right away, or kicking yourselves how close you got, or am I, basically going too far back and can't remember that far?
Honestly, like it's hard to like go back and think. I watch film on it sometimes, just trying to like look at my mistakes, because it was my first time playing football again, trying to get back into it. But you never ever gonna forget about losing a championship, especially playing defensive battle, not letting score a touchdown. So it was really hard to cooperate. But honestly, like we made a new memory by defeating them in our home field. So it feels good to have that, and we have the Cullen Cup in our hands.
Yeah, and for me, we were in a bit of different boat last year. So last year was the year I was dealing with the latest surgery I had on my knee, and so I took on a little bit more of a water boy role with the team last year. And but I've always been close with the guys, and you could definitely tell that right after that game was over, it was we've been working for these moments we're going into now.
So you guys are really good at this. This is, I don't know if you've ever done an interview before, but sometimes young guys, they give one-word answers. You didn't do that. You seem to be somewhat scripted. Okay, I'm going to talk first, then you go. I don't know if that was planned, but you did really well at this, by the way.
That's just the way we're dialed in.
Yeah, you just blew it. You just blew it.
In.
So let's put it in is either one of you a vocal leader on this team in the dressing room or in the huddle?
That's all him. That's all him.
Yeah, if I have to be honest, yeah, I would definitely claim that role for sure. But it makes it a lot easier when you have multiple other teammates that are also vocal and echo a lot of the things you say. I think naturally that just became my role, but I don't think I'm the only one that does it. this guy's for sure a big leader by example. You watch him play football and everybody wants to play like that, wishes they had that size, speed, and tenacity on the field. And then you're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So I'd say right from top to bottom, we have leadership instilled to our group. And but yeah, to say the least, I would claim that role for sure, but we've definitely got tons of leaders filled on this team.
Okay, so let's play that role now. Let's put people watching this in the locker room. You're talking to your teammates right now. What do you want? What would you say to them? What are you going to say to them as you leave the dressing room tomorrow?
Oh, as I leave the dressing room tomorrow, that's a different mindset. I mean, sometimes those words will change when I get to that moment, and some of them I probably can't say on this interview. But no, I mean, the message will be the same. A big thing for us is consistency. So really, it's just trusting the work. I'll be telling my guys to trust the work we've put in up until this point, all the film we've watched, the food we've been eating that's healthy, working out, stretching, everything right down to the little things, right? Getting the proper sleep at night. The big message will be trusting the work we've put in and just staying consistent, to put it simply.
Perfect. Thanks, guys. Thanks for doing this. I know you've got a really full schedule
for
today.
myself.
Oh, sorry. You were the quiet one. I didn't think you were going to talk, but go ahead.
No, that's all him.
You go. No, you go. You go.
No, what he said. He's
an echo guy.
Okay. Listen, thanks for doing this, guys. Really appreciate it. I know you've got a full plate today too. So I guess what, team dinner next?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, yeah, team dinner next, and then film and meetings.
Yeah, so we're doing this right now, just so everybody knows. It's 3:47 in Kelowna, that makes it 6:47. So go enjoy your dinner, get a good night's sleep, and good luck from everybody at home. I know everybody's pretty excited back here. So
awesome.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.